Global markets took a hit on Tuesday, with shares falling across Europe and Asia, as new Chinese sanctions on a major South Korean shipbuilder's US subsidiaries reignited trade tensions with Washington. This development comes as a shock to investors, who had been cautiously optimistic about the trade situation between the two economic powerhouses. The CAC 40 in France dropped 0.8% to 7,873.25. While the DAX in Germany lost nearly 0.9% to 24,181.83. Britain's FTSE 100 also shed 0.2% to 9,426.92. The SP 500 futures and Dow Jones Industrial Average futures both fell by 0.8% and 0.5% respectively, indicating a potential downward trend in the US markets. However, the SP 500 had a strong recovery on Monday, jumping 1.6% to regain more than half of its Friday losses. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 1.3%, and the Nasdaq Composite gained 2.2%, suggesting a volatile but resilient market environment. Investors are closely monitoring comments from Jerome Powell, the US Federal Reserve Chair, at a meeting of the National Association for Business Economics later on Tuesday. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 index tumbled 2.6% to 46,847.32, reversing a recent rally in Tokyo. This decline is partly attributed to the collapse of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party's coalition with the Komeito Party, raising doubts about the potential leadership of Sanae Takaichi as Japan's first female prime minister. The political uncertainty has added to the existing unease over China-US trade tensions, causing benchmarks in Hong Kong and Shanghai to fall. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index lost 1.7% to 25,441.35, while the Shanghai Composite shed 0.6% to 3,865.23. The markets had a brief respite on Monday after President Trump's reassuring post on Truth Social, suggesting a potential resolution to the trade tensions. However, on Tuesday, China's Commerce Ministry announced a ban on Chinese companies' dealings with 5 subsidiaries of South Korean shipbuilder Hanwha Ocean, which could significantly impact the industry. This move comes as South Korea and the US have been strengthening their shipbuilding ties to counter China's dominance in the sector. Hanwha Ocean's shares tumbled 5.8% in Seoul, and the Kospi benchmark index lost 0.6% to 3,561.81. In other economic news, energy markets witnessed a decline in benchmark US crude prices, falling $1.21 to $58.28 per barrel. Brent crude, the international standard, also dropped $1.27 to $62.05 per barrel. Currency markets saw the US dollar weaken against the Japanese yen, falling to 152.03 yen from 152.29 yen. The euro also depreciated, costing $1.1557, down from $1.1569.